Alright, this is going to be a quick little showing and overview of the Radionics 8112. So this is an older Radionics system that was very popular when it came out. It brought a lot of different advancements to the alarm industry. So this is actually an older version of the 8112. Mine's an E1 revision, as somebody hand wrote on there. The newest is the G2, which I would like to upgrade this one to eventually. So this one's actually missing a lot of the features, but they were designed to be upgraded. So it's got terminals here, Zone Expander 1 and 2, which became POP-X, which is the addressable bus. The sync terminal was never used to my knowledge. And down here we got the accessory connector, 8 onboard zones, which is the maximum for this revision. Usually there's a little buzzer here, but anyone who's dealt with an 8112 will know that that is a huge pain to have there, so I actually removed it, desoldered it nicely. So, because it basically follows the keypad sounder, and if you have a trouble you can't silence, you can't just unplug the keypad when there's a buzzer there that keeps going. So, yeah, that's that. Down over here, you can connect a module for listen and support, which I don't have that module, but I'll probably get one eventually. So, yeah, this panel does support listening. So here is the Alpha keypad, also known as the Alpha 2, the Radionics, because the Alpha 1 was a alphanumeric keypad for the Omega Alarm 4012 and 8012, very, very old systems. I do have a few of those that I'm working on restoring, which I'll show sometime, but those are complete different monsters. This keypad, one thing you'll notice if you're used to 9000 and 7000 series panels is it centers the text instead of left aligning it, which is very odd. So if you look at this system over here, this is a 9412. All the text is always left aligned, which personally I like that better. Somebody forgot a question mark when they were programming it. That would be me. But compare it to the Alpha 2, everything is centered. Which, I mean, it just says ready right now, but you'll see. Everything is basically centered on that display at all times. So first off, I just have 2 zones connected. I have, well, they're all end of line, but I've got zone 3, which is a delay, and I've got zone 1, which is a fire. So the keypad tones on this is very interesting. It's similar to the new ones, but it's quite different. Similar, but not the same. So I'm gonna let you hear the fire treble tone while I open the fire zone here, and it's just gonna be a continuous, almost dual tone sound. Now we'll do Command 4 to silence. And it's displaying an inaccurate clock because I haven't set it. But service, fire, which is the zone name. I'll say zone 100 open. That's what that last character being an O indicates. That's expanded zone status indication, which I don't completely understand yet, but to my knowledge that was more useful on the later revisions, but it does show the zone state. See, the O. Now if this was a burglary zone that had trouble on short, and it was shorted, that would show a C, I believe. But now I'll just put the resistor back in here. And screw that back in. Maybe. There we go. So now we're back to the ready display, and it's reporting to the receiver behind me again. So that is the treble tone. Now I'll go ahead and show the watch tone, which is chime. So you do Command 6 to turn that on. So now it's going to scroll watch. Well, actually, no, it's not going to scroll. It's just going to show it all the time. Now, if I open this zone, it's just a high-pitched beep, and it'll show the zone name. When it restores, it should just go back to... Actually, that takes a while. But yeah, the watch tone, or chime tone, is just a single high-pitched beep. Okay. So I'll turn that back off by doing Command 6 again. Back to ready. So let's go ahead and arm it. We do that by doing Command 1. And wait for the 10-second exit delay. Let's exit now, all secure. The later revisions of these systems actually put more text on the screen at once. So this one, it's like 1 word at a time for some reason. The newer versions, it would say all secure instead of all secure. Yeah, just like the new ones do. So now we're reporting the closing report. I'll wait for that to finish. Because something you'll notice about old panels like this is they weren't very good at multitasking. Probably because their processor doesn't have a whole lot of resources available like new ones do. But especially when they're reporting to central stations. You'll see this in a lot of old systems. The timing just gets really bad on them for some reason. I don't know if it's just the lack of a timer interrupt or what, but yeah, especially on the bell output, when it's reporting to the receiver, you'll probably hear it when I show the fire alarm. You'll notice that relay timing is not very consistent. So we've reported to the central station. So now I will open this zone and you'll hear the entry delay tone, which is just a pulsed version of the treble tone. So I'll actually let this run out and you'll get to hear the burglar alarm tone at the end, and you'll notice the timing gets bad as it reports. So entry, delay. So entry indicates you should disarm it, and the burglar alarm will come in a moment. There it is. So that's the burglar alarm tone. So I'll enter my code to silence. And notice how long that took for it to stop? That's because it's reporting to the receiver right now, and timing gets really bad when it's doing that. So you see how long it took for it to scroll? It's because it was transmitting. See we're stuck on that display? Yeah. That's what I mean by the timing gets bad when it's reporting. You probably noticed that with that DSC demonstration I did with the older, I'm forgetting the model, but that older DSC panel I have does that too. Now, to clear this, we'll do Command 47, which also does a sensor reset, which you'd use to reset smoke detectors. And we're back to ready. Now I'll show the fire alarm, which this one, I'll put the camera close to over here so you can hear how bad the relay timing gets. But so here, the fire tone is just the burglary tone but pulsed. So as it reports, heard how much that got stuck there? That's because it's reporting. So now enter my code to silence. See how that got stuck again? So yeah, that's something interesting that you'll notice across older panels is their timing's not great. So you see the alarm plus. I will show what that indicates in a moment here. It's gonna say cancel. And that cancel scrolling in the display does go away after it's reported the cancel report, which it just did. Now it's no longer going to show it. So now to reset, we do Command 47 again. Now, as I said, not very multitaskable system. So I'm going to show you something. I'm going to do Command 41, which is going to send a test report. And then at the same time, I'll do Command 43, which usually requests remote programming, and you'll see the system actually says busy on the display. Test. Now if I do Command 43, says busy. Yeah. Now notice, the test does not have that little plus sign yet. Once it reports to the receiver, in a moment, there it is. So that's kind of a way for the user to know once it's got through to the central station, that little plus shows up, which is a cool feature instead of having a ringback like most panels do. So the test has been completed. So this is reporting in BFSK format. It also does pulse formats. And the newer ones, the newer revisions do modem 2, which is something I'd like to try out with these. So hopefully I'll get it upgraded sometime. But I'm going to do Command 42, which is a status report, and I'll explain what that is in a moment here, but I'm going to let you hear it report to the receiver. No plus yet, note that. So, reporting to the Radionics 6600, very new receiver. All right, there we go. And yes, that is like the worst BFSK signal I've ever heard as well. It's not very good coming from this panel. I don't know if it's just a hardware limitation, which it probably is because the pulse tones sound perfectly clear. But I think that it was not really designed to do BFSK from the start. So now if we look at the receiver log, it's funny, this is a very old Radionics panel reporting to a very new central station receiver. So we're gonna go up 3. So status reports are effectively, they are also called diagnostic on the older systems, but they are a way for the central station to get more information about a panel that's having an issue. So if a customer calls in and says that there's some trouble with their system, it's beeping, the operator can instruct them to do command 42, and they will get a printout of all the different conditions in the panel at the receiver. So if we hit menu enter, we'll see here, account 15, restore zone 9. This was a status report because it shows status report first. Now, zone 9, that's a special Radionics code. Zone 9 indicates the status of the battery. If it's a trouble, that indicates there's battery trouble. If it's a restore, that indicates the battery's okay. So we got a status report for a restore zone 9, indicating the battery's fine. So the next one we got here is an opening zone 9. Not sure why it shows zone 9, but opening indicating that the area is open at the time it's disarmed. And the last one indicates restore zone 0. Zone 0 is also a special code, and that is used to indicate the AC power status. So if it were a trouble, that would indicate the AC is failed. But as you can see, restore zone 0 indicates that AC is fine. So now, with this receiver, this is a really new receiver, as I said. This panel was actually meant to report to the D6000 right here. Mind the printer log here. Now, this receiver is extraordinarily rare, so I can't really fix this problem, but this is a very old version of this receiver. So it doesn't support BFSK, and I wanted to use BFSK with this system. So otherwise I would have had it reporting here. But yeah, I'd have to use Pulse to get it to show up with the Model 6000. But this receiver did use BFSK later on. I just need to find the software. I need to find the newer ROMs for this so I can upgrade it, which that's the hardest part, is finding any information on this receiver is almost impossible. So yeah, eventually when I get, if I ever get it updated, I'll have to show 8112 reporting to the receiver it was kind of meant to report to. So yeah. And I was going to show the LED keypad for the system as well. So I've actually got one here. It's the Model 360 keypad. So this is the D360 LED keypad for the 8112. So it's got LEDs instead of a vacuum fluorescent display. So I'm going to show how that operates now. Back over here. And notice the little plus sign showed up now that it reported to the receiver, which I really like. Back to the ready screen. So I'm going to swap out the keypad, which is very easy on Radionics panels because connectors, which I love that, honestly. A lot of people hate it. I think that's better than terminals because you can do this. It makes mounting these keypads a lot easier too, and you don't have to wire them while they're hanging there. So this keypad is what most old Radionics systems you'll see. They have this kind of keypad, which, I mean, the D1252 was a luxury at that time. The LED keypads were far more common, especially in residential. So the AC LED indicates the status of the panel in terms of power. So I don't remember, it either goes out or it flashes when it's running on battery only, I don't remember. But command LED indicates whether or not it's in a command state, so if I press command, so command LED comes on. 1 through 8 indicates zone status, 1 through 8, and here are the little armed LEDs to indicate the arming state. Wait for that to time out. Actually, that takes a while. So we're going to do command 1 to arm it, and you'll see the little LEDs start flashing. And interesting way that the 360 shows when it's done reporting. And this, you'll really see the timing gets bad when it's reporting, so I'll let it finish its exit delay. Yeah, see that? So it's calling the receiver. And it's got stuck there. Once the report gets through to the central station, these LEDs become solid. So that's a good way to tell. And to disarm, just enter your code again. And I'm not going to show the tones because every tone except a key press tone is just that high-pitched beep continuously on the LED keypad. But yeah, that's the LED keypad for the 8112. And as I said, it shows zone status. So if I open zone 3, you'll see the zone 3 LED comes on. I haven't figured out how to bypass yet. I just honestly forgot. So I would show that, but it flashes when the zone's bypassed. So that is the 8112 panel with both the two different types of keypads. And yeah, it's a neat little panel. I wish I could have it upgraded, so I'm going to see if I can see if one of my friends can send me the ROMs temporarily so I could upgrade this system and get it to support all the cool features. So if that ever happens, then I'll definitely make an updated video on it. An interesting thing about these ABCD keys, I didn't really mention those. These are function keys that you can program. You can enter up to 6 keystrokes that it emulates when you push this button, or the BCD in the 5200 over here. I'd show you, but that's kind of a pain. So, for example, my A key is used to send a test report, and the entry I programmed is C41, so command 41. So I press A, hear the relay click, it's going to send a test report to the receiver. It's a nice little quick access to various functions on the system. But yeah, that's the 8112, and sorry this wasn't a very nicely laid out demonstration. I just want to get something out because it's such a cool panel. But yep, I have a demonstration on my 6112 that I'll be doing later, because I also have keypads for that. And I must thank HappyJigg, which I'll link their channel in the description. They gave me these keypads, the D360s, the 620s I have for the 6112 and a 636. This one I got, but they're a big help in getting these, because if you didn't know, Radionics keypads like these, especially the D620s, are almost unobtainium now. So it's good to have them while we still can. So, yep, that's the Omega Alarm 8112 E1 revision.